Hey, this is Mike with Riding in the Ozarks, and today I'm running short on time on getting a video done, so we're going to record some stuff while I drop off a rent check and ride to work. So we're going to talk about the COVID Sturgis news, Laconia and the mask crap, and fill you in on Shovel Fest coming up here in Missouri, and I got some inside scoop on things that are going to be happening at Bikefest. So we're going to talk about Bikefest here in Missouri and some of the things that have been announced and some of the things that have not been announced but I hear are going to happen. So if you're interested in rally stuff, hang around. I'm going to break this video up into chapters, so there'll be little spots in the timeline down below where you can skip to the part you care about if you don't care about some of the things I'm talking about. Alright, so let's talk about Sturgis first. Sturgis is over. Everybody was going on about how it was going to be a super spreader and everything else. And now that it's over, it's come out that there are 3 people working at the event that have now been tested positive for COVID. One was a tattoo artist at One-Eyed Jack's, one was a bartender at One-Eyed Jack's, and then a bartender in Hill City somewhere was tested. So if you did go to Sturgis and you were at those places and you're showing any symptoms, you might want to go get tested. Yesterday it broke news that 8 states have tracked 100 cases of COVID, positive cases of COVID back to Sturgis. I think 40 were in one state though, so you know that's kind of big for that state. Not huge. I mean, let's be realistic. 100 cases of COVID out of 450,000 people's not. It's 0.0003 or some shit. It's tiny. It's, you know. Now, is that going to multiply and multiply? Possibly if those people don't self-quarantine. Or if they didn't quarantine when they got back, or depending on who they're around or what, it could grow and be maybe an issue. I don't know. I don't think so. I still wouldn't call that a super spreader. But that's what we found out about Sturgis and COVID since the rally has ended. Laconia, on the other hand, that goddamn rally's a mess in my opinion. The governor's come out with the mask mandate, and then I read that she was creating a task force to enforce, you know, these regulations besides the mask, like no standing at the bar, in a bar, seated only. You know, I got reports from somebody that was in Laconia that they got thrown out of a bar for dancing with their husband.
Hey, I came with that girl. Doesn't look like you're leaving with her.
You know, so I mean, they've just gone nuts on that bullshit. I think that's totally out of line. The mayor, the chief of police, and the guy running the rally, the executive director, St. Clair is his name, reported 11 days before the rally they had no idea who was going to be on the task force. They just had been told that there was going to be one. So I mean, that sounds like she's, you know, creating her own little enforcement agency. I read bars were not going to even open up for fear of losing their license or being fined heavily for not making patrons abide by these rules. So they just decided to stay closed, which, you know, essentially what she did was just make the rally as hard as possible on rally goers and, you know, businesses, and I think it's bullshit. And now, last weekend that I was at a rally here in Missouri, it was a small rally, you know, 400 people, something like that, but it's an adult rally on a private campground, and we didn't have no rules. Only rules we had was no weapons and no attitudes. So outside of that, there really wasn't any rules. If you don't know what an adult rally is, you're not going to see it on YouTube because it'll get taken down. I'm going to have a video of the rally, but I won't be showing any of the adult style activities that will get me demonetized or striked on YouTube because they're harsh on that shit. But it was a good time. We had a good time. $2 beers, not this overinflated beer prices you see at these big rallies. We had bike games, we had human games, They had a pickle licking contest. You know, I seen a ring toss game using female body parts with glow-in-the-dark rings at night. I saw topless badminton, lots of fun stuff. So we'll have a video coming out on that rally as soon as I can, but Bikefest is coming up, so I'm gonna have to get some stuff out about that right away. And then after that, we go straight to what was Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. It's now Bikes and No Blues, or, you know, Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, the rally that wasn't, or what. There's different names people are calling it by, but people are still going to Eureka Springs and going to attend that event. But right up here, I got to stop and pay my rent. If you guys have seen any of my DR650 videos, where I worked on it and stuff and got it running, that was in a shop. I don't own that shop. I rent it from a friend of mine, and it's time to pay the rent. So we're going to stop in, pay the rent, and then we're going to talk about all the stuff I heard that's going to be happening at Bikefest. So the rent's paid, and now we're headed to work. I know it's 10 a.m. and I'm just not going to work, but I've been working from home this morning, first couple hours. Now I'm headed into the office to get some things done there that I need to physically be there for. So back to the rally news. So we covered Sturgis and Laconia and the outcomes of what we're hearing out of those rallies. And I told you about the Missouri Bikers Homecoming Rally that we just attended. So while I was at the Missouri Bikers Homecoming Rally, I was talking to Law Tigers, and he gave me some scoop on some stuff that's happening, and I had not seen it posted, but it has been posted, some of it, since. So if you're not familiar with Bikefest, I'm going to give you a rundown of kind of that rally and stuff that goes on there. The rally officially starts on Thursday. It runs through Sunday. I think it's sponsored by Lake Ozark Harley-Davidson. Bikefest is its 14th annual event. Last year they reported about 100,000 bikes in attendance. I think that number is a little high, but I would believe over 50,000, which makes it the biggest bike rally in the state of Missouri. And a lot of stuff that happens there takes place at the Harley-Davidson dealer, which is Lake Ozark Harley-Davidson. This year they've announced that they're going to have the Harley-Davidson demo truck there, so you can do demo rides starting on Thursday. The rally runs Thursday through Sunday. I think the demo rides are only going to be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They always have a big vendor set up there at the dealership. Discounts, specials going on, bands. They also sponsor what's called a passport run. So you buy a book, I think it's 20 bucks for the book. You have to go to all these businesses in the area and get your book stamped. And at the end of the rally, those books get turned in and they draw a winner, and that winner wins a motorcycle. I think it's a slightly used motorcycle or a year-old model. I'm not sure what they're giving away this year, but I'll flash a picture up in the screen here. I'm sure the information's out there. I just haven't looked it up yet. Now, other places the stuff goes on, besides all the individual bars just having bands and doing stuff, is the Horny Toad Complex down at H-Toads. Throttle America's down there. There's vendors down there. There will be bands down there. We will be down there. We go down there every Saturday night for the Hells Bells AC/DC tribute band that plays. It's free. It's awesome. Beers are not $2 though, so bring your wallet. But it's a hell of a good time, and we enjoy going out there and hanging out with those guys. And that's kind of a tradition for us. We go there every Saturday night during Bikefest. This year we have a house rented not real far from there, so it's going to be a short ride back to the house after the AC/DC concert. If you're not familiar with Lake of the Ozarks, it has more shoreline than the state of California. It is a big lake. Now, of course, it's got a lot of zigzags in and out for all these coves. That's why it has more shoreline, but it takes over an hour to ride around the lake. It's not, and there's a route that goes around it, but it doesn't follow the shoreline everywhere because of private property and things like that. But you can get different glimpses and views of the lake at different places along those routes around the lake, and that's one of the scenic rides you can do. There's Ha Ha Tonka State Park there that you can go check out. That was a really big fancy hotel that burnt down years ago, and the stone remnants of it are still there, and that's a state park. There's also some other scenic rides listed on the Bikefest website. There's all kinds of bars and attractions at Lake of the Ozarks, and those different bars will be having their own bands and parties going on and things. So there's lots to do. One of our favorite things to do is a bike show put on by a MC here in the state of Missouri, the Midwest Drifters. They have a bike show at the Gentlemen's Club on Saturday afternoon. I think that usually starts about noon or 1. I haven't got confirmation what time exactly yet this year, but they are having it, and there will be some really cool bikes. Here's some video from the bike show last year. Now, the Strip has center lane parking for bikes only during Bikefest, and there's several bars that'll have bands and stuff there, and a lot of people just hang out on the Strip and walk from bar to bar. Last year they started doing some different crap. Used to be you couldn't take a beer across the street. Now they're trying to regulate you can't take a beer from one bar to the other. I don't know if that's the city doing that or if that's the bar doing it, trying to force you to stay in their little beer garden on the sidewalk and drink it there. But there's ways around that either way. And some people said, oh, you're gonna get a fine, and I said, I've paid fines before. So that's kind of what's going on at Bikefest, some of the events. And I've heard, and I have not got this confirmed, but I've heard there's going to be a dyno horsepower competition, and just for entering your bike, you'll get a voucher for a free drink at Lake Ozark Lounge called Lotto Lounge. Daniel, if you're watching this video, sounds like something you need to put the Trash Turbo on. And Jay, if you're not doing nothing, you need to bring that 140 horsepower Street Glide down and show them what you got. Anybody else got big horsepower they're going to bring to the rally and put on the dynos? So, I don't know exactly when yet, but I'm thinking about doing a meet and greet kind of thing. If anybody wants to come hang out and say hi and have a drink. We have friends that own a bar there called the Ice Hole. I've showed that in another video, and I will definitely be there at some point on Saturday, I'm sure. So I haven't locked that down. I haven't confirmed it with the bar, but I'm sure they'll be okay with me bringing patrons in if I want to hang out there and do a meet and greet for anybody that wants to stop and say hi, get a sticker, that kind of thing. Is that something you guys are interested in? Would you like a meet and greet? All right, so I'm going to do another video on Eureka Springs because that's going to be another whole big topic. But we will be going to Eureka Springs. We will be in Eureka Springs Wednesday through Sunday morning of what would have been Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. That's the weekend after Bikefest. So that's going to be like a week-long vacation. We're going to have a little me time early in the week. Just me and April going and doing some riding. Then we're hooking up with friends and other YouTubers in Eureka Springs and hanging out for 3 days and riding the Pig Trail and probably going to Pig Trail Harley Davidson, I hear there's going to be events in Fayetteville, even though Fayetteville canceled the official rally. I don't know if we'll make it to Fayetteville. We may just do our thing in Eureka Springs and in the Northwest Arkansas area, say screw Fayetteville since they wanted to cancel the rally. The Hideout's got events going on there. But again, that's going to be a whole nother video because there's a lot there. I'll try and get that out next week. Alright, if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you do that YouTube thing, check out the content on my channel. And if you dig it, you can subscribe down below. You can ring that bell to be notified the next time I drop a new video. And as always, thank you for your support. Stay safe and keep on riding.